Carissimi fratelli e sorelle, con profondo dolore devo annunciare la morte del nostro Santo Padre Francesco. Alle ore 7:35 di questa mattina, il Vescovo di Roma Francesco è tornato alla casa del Padre. La sua vita tutta intera è stata dedicata al servizio del Signore e della sua Chiesa.
He was hailed as the people's pope, a humble reformer sent to revive the spirit of the Catholic Church. But over a decade into his papacy, Pope Francis became one of the most controversial figures to ever lead the Vatican. Why? What are the stakes? Questions. And how have his actions shaken the foundation of a 2,000-year-old institution? This is the untold story of a papacy caught between reforms, resistance, controversies, and now reflection, because Pope Francis is no more. Born in Buenos Aires, Argentina in 1936, he was the son of Italian immigrants. A young Pope Francis worked as a chemical technician before entering the seminary. He joined the Jewish order in 1958, an order known for its discipline, intellect, and emphasis on the poor. He survived a near death, but with pneumonia that left him with one lung partially removed. That brush with death, some people say, shaped his humanity and fierce sense of purpose. By 1998, he was the Archbishop of Buenos, known for riding buses, rejecting luxury, and living simple. He became a cardinal in 2001. Then in March of 2013, the world changed. At the age of 76, Pope Francis was elected the 266th Pope, the first Jewish, the first from Latin America, and the first non-European Pope in over a millennium. He chose the name Francis after St. Francis of Assisi, signaling his mission, humanity, reform, and care for the poor. From the very start, Pope Francis vowed to confront the church's darkest scandals, sexual abuse. But in 2018, the crisis exploded once again, this time in Chile, when he defended Bishop Juan Barros, accused of covering up abuse. Francis called the allegations slander. The backlash was global. Survivors and Catholics around the world were outraged. Days later, the Pope reversed his stance, apologized, and removed several bishops from power. Still, many felt betrayed. He promised change. One survivor said, "But in that moment, we saw more of the same." While he took some reformist steps, critics argue the church under Francis still fell short of full transparency and justice. In 2016, Ameris shattered a centuries-old tradition. Pope Francis opened the door, just slightly, for divorce and remarriage Catholics to receive communion. The response was chaos. Traditionalists accused him of breaking church doctrine. Some called it hazy, but Francis stood firm, arguing that mercy and context must guide the church, not legalism. Then came his famous words: "If someone is gay and is searching for the Lord and has a good will, who am I to judge?" To some, this was a turning point. To others, it was the beginning of the church's unraveling. His stance on gay rights was a controversial one. It was a trending story for months after he made it clear that the church should not be against gay people, but it is a sin before God, and the church do not have the right to judge. In 2018, Francis signed a secretive deal with the Chinese government. It allowed Belgium to propose bishop for the Vatican's approval. Critics called it a dangerous compromise, handling spiritual authority to an atheist region known for persecuting Christians. Cardinal Joseph Zeng, a touring figure in Hong Kong, accused Pope of selling out the faithful. The Vatican called it diplomacy. Many called it betrayal, and his stance on political pontiff. Francis didn't shy away from politics. He called out the failures of capitalism. He warned of climate disaster around the world. He supported civil union for same-sex couples, something no pope had ever done. He met with atheists, imams, and indigenous leaders He washed the feet of prisoners and immigrants. But this bold leadership came at a cost. Francis has politicized the papacy. His critics said he's brought the church closer to humanity. His supporters also replied. In his final years, Pope Francis battled with declining health, undergoing surgery and walking with difficulty, yet he refused to step down. Even as rumors of resignation swelled, he insisted his mission was not finished, and then it ended. Pope Francis passed away peacefully at the Vatican at the age of 88. The Vatican confirmed his death in the early hours of the morning, closing a chapter unlike any the Catholic Church had seen in modern history. Pope Francis was a disruptor, a bridge builder, a divider, and a healer. To some, he modernized a crumbling institution. To others, he compromised too much, too quickly. His death leaves behind a fractured church, one filled with both hope and division. The question now is just who comes next, but whether the church will continue down the path Francis forged or retreat into tradition. What do you think? Did Pope Francis bring the change the church needed, or did he go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the future of the Catholic Church may depend on how we remember the Pope who dared to break the norm. Thank you so much for watching this video on Frank Speaks. You can as well check out the video that we have on this channel on Pope Francis at the end of this video. It's already existing on the YouTube channel. Once again, thank you so much for watching.